Hello everybody, and welcome back to another dream today. Hello. Come on in. I'm running like 5 minutes late. It's fine. We're not gonna worry about it. It's a real chillax Friday today, guys. Gob's home with me. We're protesting in our own way. But yeah, it's a nice relaxing Friday today. I hope everybody's having a wonderful day. I hope wherever you are, you're relaxing or getting ready to relax. I hope that you're gonna eat or have eaten some delicious food. I hope you have something comfy. Grab a drink, grab a snack if you haven't already. It's Visual Novel Friday. We're gonna be playing Dark Nights. Yeah, happy Friday, guys. Let me introduce myself real quick for people who don't know me. Hi, my name is Princess Evillan, and I'm a streamer here on Twitch. And I post almost everything I do here on the channel. It all ends up onto youtube.com/@princessevillanvods. EVILLAN. That's how you spell Evelyn, in case you didn't know. But yeah, I have a lot of videos on the VOD channel, including the first parts of Dark Nights. So if you're interested in watching this visual novel from the beginning or other visual novels that we have played, I play games every Tuesday, Thursday, Friday here on Twitch. And on Wednesdays and Sundays, I read webcomics with my lovely husband, Gob the Goblin. And on Saturdays, every other Saturday, we do a D&D stream. So as of this stream, the 30th, there's going to be a D&D session tomorrow, so this Saturday. So if you're catching the stream now, or if you catch it in the VODs later today, or anything like that, go ahead and check us out tomorrow. We will be doing D&D. It is a small D&D campaign. It's just me and Gob right now. Gob is the DM, and he's also a player, and I'm also playing as like a main player. And it is around a story of like this magical dreamlike city, but there's like a nightmare lurking in the darkness, and it's my character's goal to solve this problem, but she doesn't quite really know what to do or how to do it. So we're looking for divine guidance right now, but it's not really coming in the nicest ways. We wanted to see a nightmare, we got a nightmare. It was very scary. So some days are really fun, some days are really scary. It's all very interesting. So if you like D&D and you like fantasy stories, homebrew D&D, things like that, or if you're new to D&D and you want to start out with a small campaign of like 1 or 2 people, but you don't know how to scale down, or you don't know what to do, or you don't know how to play D&D, we'll be playing 5e, which is one of the more like modern versions, I would say, of D&D. One of the more popular versions. So if you're looking to play for the first time, come check us out, see if we're something that you can get some inspiration off of, and otherwise just hang out with us. It's really fun. But yeah, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday for video games, Wednesdays and Sundays for Homestuck, and Saturdays for D&D. Yeah, that's the whole thing. If you miss out on what's going on for the stream, or you don't know what's going on, and you want to know what's going on, go ahead and check out the schedule tab on the Twitch page, twitch.tv/princessevillan. Go to the schedule tab, and it will tell you what game, what we're doing, what time, all that stuff. If D&D is happening that week, go ahead and check that out if you're interested. Go to the VODs channel if you miss anything. Usually videos get uploaded every Saturday. I do a week's worth of videos every Saturday, and or week's worth of streams, I mean, every Saturday. So there's a little bit of a delay between the streams and the uploads, but I'm doing a huge upload this upcoming Saturday. So now is a great time to go in and watch some of the latest things that we've been doing on the channel before my break and just after it, and New Year's, and the finishing of Problem Sleuth, all that kind of stuff. So go ahead and check that out. Anyways, we are playing Dark Nights today, which is a romance, mystery, supernatural visual novel. I don't really remember what we were doing. Let's switch over. I don't remember really what we were doing all I know is that we're in the middle of a flashback with our love interest. Let's see. Yeah, we're in the middle of a flashback. Sorry for the coughing, I'm still sick. I'm still getting over it. Let's see. Can we look at the log history? Here we go. Let's go back a little bit. I'm gonna sneeze. Hold on. Ooh, bless me. Goodness. Oh, okay. Next morning, I went to Rasmi to deliver her diary. She thanked me happily. Okay, so we're playing as Kurato, who is our love interest. And Rasmi is his female friend who is like a couple years older than him. She left her diary in the library while we were there. We returned it after we read a bunch of pages, and they got progressively creepier the more like further back into the diary we got. There is some suspicion that maybe she was being bullied, I think. During lunch, most of my classmates went to the canteen. I grabbed my bag and took out my lunchbox and a newspaper. I began browsing through it. Oh, it's supposed to be like in the past, but I don't know how far in the past this is supposed to be. Excuse me. I think they said at one point that it was like the 1800s or something, when she was like going through newspaper articles trying to find more about him. Oh my god. This cough just won't go away, guys. Oh, I forgot to get more coffee. Damn it. Hold on, let me go get some coffee real quick. Just listen to the music. It's so great. Here, I'll turn it up. Listen to the music for a second. Okay, look. See, I'm back. That was quick. Alright, let's see. Took out a newspaper. A section about mysteries intrigued me the most. A few articles indicated suspicious acts from a few stores. They often make up theories about them. While I was lost in thought, Tenchi poked me on the shoulder. Tenchi is our like best friend, Kurato's best friend, and when they were kids, and they were really close, and he was the only one that like supported him while he was being bullied. And Tenchi turns into, somehow something happens. We're gonna figure out what happens, but something happens where he dies, and it's Kurato's fault, or at least that's what he thinks, or that's what Tenchi thinks. And then Tenchi turns into a Shinigami and is a different character in modern day time, which is where Kurato got pulled into when he was time traveled by somebody. There's a lot of questions we still have. I highly recommend you go check out the other episodes of this if you're watching today, because there's a lot going on, but that's basically the gist of what's happening. Do you believe everything written in the news? I think so. Why wouldn't I? The truth isn't interesting all the time, so sometimes they twist stories to attract the public. If I become a journalist, I won't do that. You see that now, but people change, you know? I won't. By the way, have you seen Udai? He hasn't gone to our school for 2 days. A few of our other classmates, too. I don't know. Perhaps I got the flu or something? I hope it's just that case. The door to the classroom suddenly slid aside with a loud bang. At the entrance stood Roya. Roya is the kid that is picking on us. He's bullying us. He murdered a teacher at one point in this flashback, and we're hiding from him because we saw it happen, and he knows we saw it happen, but we haven't told anybody. And so he's using that to like manipulate us. And we know that later in the modern day part of this game, we meet Roya as a student with our main character, and she gets into a confrontation where Roya ends up dying at Kurato's hand. Which again, Kurato has gone to the modern day because he was time traveled. So I don't know how Roya got there. There was some suspicion that Roya could be a vampire. His brother is also here, who is one of the characters that we can romance. So I don't know what their origin is, if they're vampires or something. It could be a really interesting. I really want to do the other. Routes. I think they'll be really interesting. I thought he was not coming today, but I guess he was just late. Confronting him about the pranks crossed my mind, but he seemed to be in a worse mood than usual. I thought about it the whole day, but ended up not taking the chance. As I sat at my desk and reflected on how to approach Roya, I realized I barely knew anything about him. It was difficult to talk with his brother, too, because we were in different classes. Both Kaichi and Rasumi tried giving me advice, but I still didn't know what the right answer was. Kaichi is Tenchi, but Kaichi is the modern day name. They mix that up. But that's his name. That's the character he turns into. What am I doing wrong? It feels like I'm repeating the same mistake over and over because the situation hasn't changed. I let my back rest against the chair. My eyes feel heavy and I allow myself to doze off. What to do in such a situation, You've always been so indecisive, Kurato. Basically, you only have two options. Do nothing or fight back. Choose whichever sounds good to you. What matters is what you want in the end, and you stick to it. There are more people like him around. You can't avoid it. Talk to me whenever something happens. I want to help, even if it's just with words. It's often said that talking helps with stress, although you need the right people for it. Trust me. Is this game too loud? Oops. Let me turn that down. Where is it? Let me turn the game down a little bit. There we go. Is that it? Is that where we are? The weekend passed without events. Yeah, that is where we are. Dear students, I have bad news to tell. Something unfortunate happened to Ken and Riji family last night. We can't contact them for a while. Does that mean we can't see Roya anymore? But my friend Juniro was just fine yesterday. Calm down. I understand you're upset that something happened to your friends, but right now they can't come to school for a while. The students started to chit-chat at this unexpected announcement. That's really not explanatory. You either explain it or don't explain it, but I don't think that's the way you should explain it. Just being like, we can't see them for a while. Why not? That leads into that question, right? If you're just like, they had an incident, no one's gonna see them because, like, I think they're just talking down really far. And I don't think they need to with this group. I don't think they're that, how old could they possibly be? I thought they were like, maybe third, fourth graders, maybe older, fourth, fifth graders, like almost middle school, right? Or late elementary school, right? Because it's not like the teacher would have been, even if Roya, like family, even Roya's family controlled the city or the town, it's not like if Roya was a kindergartner and threatening the teacher that the teacher would have taken him seriously. Which he didn't really take him seriously, I don't think. But I don't think he was that young. So I don't know why they're talking down so much to this. They're just being really, what's the word? Non-transparent about this. I was bewildered for a moment and didn't understand what happened. There we are. Yeah, see, we're not that young. We're not like kindergartners. Hello, Kurato. You've been staring at the same spot for 30 seconds. That's not that long. Oh, Tenchi, I'm just in a daze. I thought you'd be relieved after hearing Roya's gone. You just like him, right? Huh, yeah. Your face looks tense instead. You wanted him gone, and now you're missing him? Well, they might come back later. They might come back later. Enjoy your freedom while it lasts. Tenchi patted me on the shoulder. I tried to force a smile. Yeah, but that's really scary. A few weeks passed, but the brothers never returned to school. I kept an eye on the newspaper. Apparently something happened to the family, but it was not stated what. Interesting. Okay, so I wonder if we do the brothers route, if If we do Juno's route, I wonder if we'll learn more about that. That's really interesting. I want to know more about that. There are wanted posters around the village of Junoro and Roya, but none of their parents. I did not know why. You look like you haven't slept for days. Nothing to worry about. Tell me. Well, you know, Roya has been taking it out on me for a while. I feel stressed out from the events that went on in the past days. I told you this before and followed your advice, but even though he's gone, his image is still haunting me. I want to say you shouldn't get stressed in the first place, but it's easier said than done. I rolled my eyes at her statement. In all seriousness, there's no permanent fix to this unless you change your attitude to the situation. It's either you or him. He is only a small bridge you have to cross compared to everything else later in life. Not really. You're telling me there are worse people out there? Yeah, kind of like that. There are just more of them. They're not necessarily... They could be worse. They could be not as worse. But the fact is that there are more of them, right? So the sooner you learn to navigate these situations, the easier time you will have with the next set of unavoidable situations like this. Because you're always going to end up with people that you disagree with, right? Are you speaking from experience? Oh yeah, I think she's being bullied. Restami smiled mysteriously at me. To be honest, I did not know much about her. She did not really hang out with anyone at school besides me. I did not know how we even got along. We were so different. Look what I bought. They say if you open this tiny box, you can make a wish. Restami took out a fancy metal box from her bag and pushed it into my hands. Why do you want me to open it? I can't open it myself, so maybe you could. I really want to see what's inside. I've never heard of making wishes in boxes. I was doubtful, but she seemed in high spirits. I took a deep breath and opened the lid. Oh God. My mind went totally blank when I peeked inside. There was nothing I wished for. At first I thought the box was empty, but then black smoke spilled from the edge. I tried to force the lid closed, but smoke kept leaking out of it regardless. It was almost as if the inside of the box was set on fire. Suddenly the smoke surrounded my hands and seemed to steep through my skin. I screamed out loud and dropped the box. For a split second I thought I saw a large shadow escape the box. My face went pale. When I glanced back at the box, it was empty and clear of smoke. On the floor beside it was a silver cross necklace and a note. Hope, from a fool who opened the box too and sealed it again. What? I was still shivering. I looked down at my hands, but there was nothing unusual about it. What just happened? What did just happen? Restami, what did you give me? She looked as dazed as I was. That's why I couldn't open it. Her eyes looked surprised, yet her mouth formed a smile. It was not long before she let out a laugh. I hesitantly called her name a few times before she turned her attention to me. Where did you get that box? It's a long story. I didn't anticipate this, honestly. You saw that thing that escaped, right? Maybe we should go after it and put it back in the... I'm sorry, Kurato. She turned around and left me clueless there. What? What? Don't give me that music. Like everything's okay. I thought we were just opening a box. I thought it was gonna be cute. I thought it was gonna be like a ring or something, and she was gonna be like, let's be best friends forever. Why'd it have to be scary? What is happening? Unsure of what to do, eventually I examined the box, making sure it was safe before picking it up. That night I could not sleep. Countless questions popped into my head. While I was staring at the ceiling, I noticed my environment became larger. I raised my hand. But instead of a hand, in front of me was a small paw with dark fur, similar to a cat's. It mimicked any movements I made, almost as if it were my own limb. I tried sitting up, but for some reason I had to roll myself over onto my stomach just to do that. A quick glance at the mirror on the other side of my room proved that my whole body had transformed into a small creature. What am I supposed to do? It must be because of that box. That's right, Restami gave it to me. She must know how to undo this, right? I don't know how long I stared at the mirror before I passed out. The next morning, I woke up back as my usual self. I decided to pay Restami a visit at her place. I felt nervous after pressing the doorbell. What if she isn't home? Would she still talk to me after what happened? Maybe she knows nothing either. Who else should I ask about this? Oh, Kurato. I gulped at her sudden voice. Now that I was already here, I might as well ask. About yesterday. Come in, let's talk inside. Upon looking closer, I noticed the dark bags around her eyes. She did not seem like her usual cheerful self either. Her place was tidy and quiet. One of the few things I knew was that she lived alone. So, I know what you want to ask. It feels pointless to tell you all, though. The girl rubbed her head, looking at my sad face. She let it all outside and averted her eyes. I stole the box from a priest. He was practicing rituals and purification. I thought the box had something powerful locked inside that could be useful. What were you going to use it for? For something. I was mostly curious, though. In case you were wondering, anyone could have opened that box. You were just there at the right time. It wasn't personal. I thought we were friends. How could you do this to me? It was an accident. I felt my eyes filling up with tears. There was heavy weight lingering in my chest. Suddenly, there was a bright light and my body shrunk into the same small creature I saw in the mirror last night. Not again. Rasmi blinked at me, amused, but then realization dawned on her face. This time, the transformation only lasted a few seconds before I turned back to normal. I see. It's a curse from the box. How do you revert it? I'm not a witch. I'd have to experiment with curses to know. Oh? Rasmi held up a palm and then used her other hand to blow out a cane from it. It almost looked like a magic trick, except it had a creeping feeling it was no illusion. Her eyes were so cold. I stared at her in confusion. I had never seen this side of her before. I stayed up late at night to practice some things. I can't guarantee anything, but if you'd like to try, I'd rather not take such risks. I'd prefer going to the priest himself. Don't. Rasmi narrowed her eyes and slightly lifted her cane. I won't say anything about you. They won't find out you took the box. Yes, they will. These people are not dumb. A single hint can lead to the root. My offer still stands. If you'd rather not do it today, you can come back anytime you want, or even better, just forget what happened. I will take care of the thing that escaped from the box. Rasmi gave a reassuring smile. Interesting. So it's not like we were cursed by a person. We were cursed by an item. And the silver cross is hope? Because Kurato wears that cross still. So I wonder what that's supposed to mean. I left her place and went to the library. Rasmi did not tell me much about what I can do. It might be better to do my own research. A few hours passed. The sky was already dark by the time I left the library. I found a few books regarding sorcery and curses, but there was nothing related to the mysterious box. Since Rasmi can't help, it's really best just to ask the owner of the box. Uh-oh. I have a bad feeling about this. Okay, so my prediction is the priests go after him because he leads them to Rasmi. Tenchi gets in the way because he's just there at the wrong time. He gets killed by the priests. And then Rasmi either on purpose or like this is what she meant that she was gonna do when she was talking about the magic that she wanted to do, or as a punishment she sends him into the future away from everyone and everything he's ever known except the town. The town is just in the future, so it's totally different, right? But he's still in the same place. But his family's gone, everything's gone, and then he gets adopted, and then the present day events happen, which lead him into fighting against the corporation that is the priests, or not corporation, but the group that is the priests. Or maybe maybe the priests get destroyed in the initial battle, that leads to Tenchi's death, or something like that. But I think that's something that's gonna happen. I think let's put that out there for a minute. Let's see what happens. It's such a good visual novel. Did I mention this visual novel's free? I think it's free. Pretty sure it's free. The next day, I headed to a temple in the forest. I did not exactly know who to look for, but there was only one person around. The man was sweeping the floor and muttering to himself. The box. The dangerous box. I approached him carefully, guessing he was the priest whom Rasmi stole the box from. I did not speak of the box as Rasmi told me, but I did try to get more information regarding curses. The man also taught me a few simple spells that can ward off evil presence. He was genuinely kind, and I felt like returning to learn new things. The following days, I went to the temple whenever I had free time. The priest was usually occupied, but he made a little time for me. I considered coming clean about the box and brought the necklace with me as proof, but I never found the right moment to do so. Yeah, I don't think that's going to go well. One night when I returned from the temple, I saw some strange shadows passing by in an alley. I did not bat an eye at it and rushed to get home as soon as possible. Kurato. Oh, it's her. Kurato. A familiar voice made me turn around on impulse. I immediately thought it was something spooky. Hi. There was an ominous expression on Rasumi's face, and her eyes were shining. She had a cane in her hand, the same one I saw when I first went to her for help with the curse. Without another word, I ran away as fast as I could. She kept calling my name as she pursued me. When I looked behind me, what I saw rendered me speechless. It's not her. She has wings? Is she an angel or something? Focus, Kurato. My house is close. If I lock the doors, she shouldn't be able to catch me. Suddenly, I ran into someone and almost fell to the ground. Oh no, it's gonna be Tenchi. After regaining my bearings, I extended a hand to the person I bumped into. I'm sorry. Tenchi? The heck? What are you running away from? Before I could answer, Rasmi was already catching up. She threw her cane at us. I cowered down and hid behind Tenchi. A loud gasp made me open my eyes. I held my breath as I stared at my friend's back. The end of Rasmi's cane stuck out, having completely pierced through his torso. Blood was already pouring out. Yep, this is it. Okay, so it wasn't the priest, it was Rasmi. So I don't know what Rasmi's intentions are. Because at first she was like, it's fine. Maybe she found out that we went to the priest and she thinks we betrayed her. Tenchi fell on his knees first, before his entire body collapsed a few seconds later. His teary eyes were looking at me, but he already stopped moving. I was so speechless that I did not notice a large shadow standing in front of me. Who's that? I looked up to Rasumi's surprised expression. Within a fraction of a second, my vision turned black and it felt as though I was getting sucked up in the darkness. The last thing I heard was an unknown male voice shouting in the distance. What happened? What's going on? Wait. I woke up from the sunlight shining on my face. My body was so heavy I could not move an inch. In my bunny form again. I inspected my environment, but there was no one around. It was the same place, but it felt a bit different. Tenchi's not here. And did Rasmi spare me after all? I didn't think I'd pass out. What time is it? Bunny! There was a high-pitched voice nearby. Then, out of nowhere, a little girl knelt before me. Whoa, you're all worn out. Is it supposed to be us? Let me help you. Please hang in there. Two gentle hands picked me up. I could not even struggle as the person held me tightly in her arms. We moved to a bench. She petted dust off my fur. Her hands were gentle and warm. She took out a bottle of water from her bag and gave me some. It was as if she could read my mind. I forgot all my worries and let myself enjoy them in a moment. Aw, he's still a kid after all. I wish to stay like this forever. Oh yeah, probably he's feeling really vulnerable right now, being in a strange place and away from his friends, especially after witnessing his best friend die. Very vulnerable, very confused, so this moment of like just being taken care of probably means a lot. After my energy was replenished, she put me down and left me in the park. I could not let the chance slip by and hopped after her. She ignored me at first, but then let me follow. I was brought to her room. I supposed it was hers. Wait here, Bunny. I'm going to get you some food. After she was gone, I looked around. I know everyone in this village, but why have I never seen this girl before? She seems to be around my age, so she should go to the same school as me. I caught a glimpse of a calendar at the desk and realized something was wrong. The date was different. The numbers are way higher than what it should be. The date must be wrong. My head was hurting from trying to understand the situation. The bok choy and water are for you. After entering the room, the girl put the food in front of me and smiled brightly. There was something nice about her that made me feel at ease. As I began eating, my worries faded away. Aw, you look so cute while eating. By the way, my name is Evillan. What should I call you? There's no tag or collar. She rubbed her chin and leaned down to me. I stopped to look at her for a moment. I felt my heart skipping a beat. Are you a girl? I shook my head heavily in response. Huh? Okay, you're a boy. Can I call you Kuto? Because you're cute. I pointed my ears up at that name. She almost guessed my real name correctly. She continued to talk with me even though I could not give much of an answer. I wonder how you ended up at the park all alone. Could you be a missing pet? Judging from this cross necklace. When she tried to examine the necklace, I dodged her hands. She tried again, but I kept avoiding her. Why are you acting so difficult? I want to be sure if you've got an owner. Her dejected face made me feel a bit bad, so I snuggled against her. Aw, you're too cute. She stuck to my side for the rest of the day. While her pampering made me feel relaxed, I kept worrying about that I would suddenly transform in front of her. I knew I could not stay for long. My transformation would only get in the way. I snuck out while Evillan did not look. Leaving the girl would make her sad, but I had no choice. Aw, that's when he fell in love with us. It did not take long before I figured that I jumped through time. While exploring the village, I was convinced that the whole century had passed. I went to the address that was supposed to be my home, only to find no building there. My parents must have been long gone. I tried to learn more of this world and make a living in it. I had no place to stay, so I decided to find support at the police station. Because I had no clear background, they decided to put me in for adoption. I was lucky that a couple at the office was willing to take me in. It was not easy to blend in the society. Many questioned my origins, and strange rumors about me were going around. I worked hard to clear the rumors so that I would not land in a bad situation. I often sneaked around my parents' workplace. There were several unsolved cases from my original era left aside. Cracking them was just a matter of making deductions based on my own knowledge of that time. The adults found the information I shared helpful. I even got recommended to help out with investigations. Oh, okay. So one of the things I had talked about previously was Kurato is in what's called the elite class, which is like a collection of students who are so elite that they don't need to attend school, and many of them hold like outside jobs. Like Kurato, for example, is a detective. And I had questioned the idea of having students who are this young being detectives and running around and wielding weapons and resolving cases and dealing with criminals. And in Kurato's and Kane, and what's his name? Kane? In his circumstances, they hunt supernatural beings. Is dangerous work. And I had wondered why they would let basically children, still children, do that. And so this is kind of a little bit of an explanation of how that ended up happening. Is he solved cold cases from his era, and he proved to be an insightful detective mind, and so that's how he got into the elite class. Okay. And that's how he gets recommended into the police force, or into the detective force. Okay. I never stopped thinking about the box in my curse, so I frequently went around trying to find more information. After some time, I also quickly figured out how the curse worked. The transformation would happen at specific times and only temporarily. I could never fully control when or where it would happen, but I have gotten better at hiding it. I frequently practiced what the priest taught me, honing my skills enough that I could hold my own if I were ever to have a supernatural encounter. There were a lot of legends that popped up during the years about ghosts, demons, and guardians. As it turns out, there were more kinds of supernaturals than that angel last time. Thanks to Chain, a hunter I met because of our parents being colleagues, I understood more about them. That's right. Years passed by. I managed to climb the ranks of the police force and eventually was given a promotion. I wanted to become an investigator for justice and save people. It felt like a dream come true. Congratulations, Kurato. You've earned the rank. Soon, you might be a special investigator, big boy. That would take some decades. I'm not particularly talented. It's all hard work. There's another boy around your age working in the same section. His name is Chain. He's not much of a social butterfly, but I hope you get along. Yes, sir. After the promotion, I got invited to a training camp. I met a girl named Patsuko. She was my first partner. It was nice to talk with someone with similar goals. By the way, you two will be working under two special investigators on a mission. Lately, there have been a few reports about a man-eating demon in the forest. Oh, okay, so we're coming back to this. In the beginning of the game, before we had picked a love interest, they introduced this idea of a man-eating demon in the forest, and then we met one of the love interests, and he was like, "Get out of my forest," and we were like, "Oh, this isn't your forest," and he was like, "Yes, it is," and then we left. It was really weird. Think he might probably have something to do with that part of the storyline. I like how it's a big, broader storyline, but like different aspects of it are covered by different characters. It's probably caused by something else. I suggest not to take it too literally. Ideally, the goal is to confirm that the rumors are false and calm down the villagers. I expect good things from you both. I'm capable of it, sir. 2 officers older than us entered the room then. Even though they introduced themselves, their names did not stand out much to me. Investigators usually work in pairs, but this was the first and last time I did. One of our seniors was a friendly woman. The other was more of a grump, his face constantly fixed into a grimace. They filled Patico and I in about the demon reports as well as our agenda. For now, we were only going on patrol around spouts in the forest where the demon had been sighted. After the briefing, we headed to the forest where the investigators leading the way. I hesitated for a bit at the entrance. My partner patted my shoulder before we entered. It seemed she could tell I'd never been in this environment before. I did my best to look confident in front of my seniors. Is this the story about him going missing? And then she disappears? Is this what happens? Because didn't we get a story about Kurato talking about how him and another person went into the forest and then they disappeared for a while and then he came back alone? As we went deeper into the forest, the seniors went off the path. I had no clue about the direction, so I just followed them. There was nothing really extraordinary in the environment. Suddenly, I saw a familiar shadow in the distance. Oh no, it's a shadow. Maybe there's nothing. We should head back to the office. We're not going unless I say so. We haven't explored the west side yet. Come on, Kurato. Don't look so tense. Besides, walking around a forest is definitely better than those training squats back at camp. Panic only built within me. Every time I turned to look, the shadows seemed to be getting closer. When I turned to look, my partner was no longer beside me. Patico? The investigators widened their eyes. Both called for her name, but there was no response. Kurato, you should head back to camp and report. Report what? If she's a real officer, she can find her way back on her own. The female seniors briefly shot him a glare, then turned back to me. Listen, go back and tell the chief that Patico got lost in the forest. Don't listen to her. We should finish the mission first. It surprised me that they started arguing. I glanced around. The shadow was gone now. Following my gut, I began heading back. Hey! The man tried stopping me, but she held him back. Something told me the situation was dire. After running back, I entered the office to see someone on the floor. Underneath his body was a pool of blood. When I tried to approach him, a gunshot boomed in my ears. Pain instantly burst to my shoulder, and I was forced forward onto the floor. Oh no. I thought you were on a mission. Tsk. What was that idiot doing? The person turned away from me for a moment. An officer? There were footsteps behind me, shuffling around the office. What is happening? With a hand over my bleeding shoulder, I struggled to sit up, trying to see what was going on. A man in a uniform was by a desk, rummaging through something. Within a second, I understood what he was doing. He's stealing the donations, and he mentioned someone else. The first thing that came to mind was the investigator who tried to keep us in the forest. I can only assume they were working together. I should report this to the higher-ups. Ugh, this pain is hard to bear. With my good arm, I slowly reached for my gun in my inner pocket. The man must have been keeping an eye on me because he suddenly turned in my direction. He kicked me in the stomach, causing me to roll back. I held my breath when I saw his gun pointed at me. Without any word, he reloaded it and prepared to pull the trigger. Oh no! Time seemed to slow down and everything around me shrank after a burst of light. My opponent was totally dazed from what happened. I took this opportunity to escape. I returned to the forest to find my superiors, but both of them were gone. At the same time, my transformations became more inconsistent, so I was unable to return to the village. I ended up spending weeks in the forest to investigate. The male investigator had probably killed his partner and then fled. As time passed, negative rumors were spread about me. Everyone thought I killed my partner and the higher-ups. After collecting enough information, I managed to track down the missing investigator. He had hidden my coworkers' corpses in his attic, which was enough to prove him guilty. so I turned him in and got promoted to special investigator. Kurato buries his face in his hands. I wrap my arms around him and gently stroke his back. It's difficult when people you know are involved. I had many thoughts during the story. Kurato's life was one important event after another. If I had known, I would have done so much more back in my childhood. He looks up and touches my cheek. I realize it's wet. Why are you crying? Oh dear, I knew I shouldn't have told you. No, you should have told me this earlier. I always thought something bad happened to the bunny. I couldn't sleep for days. Oh, I'm sorry. Don't make me worry so much. Oh my god. Kurato gives me a casual smile and a nod. The writing of this character bothers me. Time passes peacefully until the day of the school ball. Kurato has been quite busy with work, so I was not able to ask him out. Ryoji had no partner either, so we paired up in the end. I tap my foot impatiently as I wait in front of my house. The sun is already starting to set, but there's still no sign of Ryoji. Geez, Ryoji's so late. He dares to make me wait 20 minutes in this cold? I have to go soon if I don't want to miss the entire party. Eventually, I decide to just leave and grumpily head to school. When I see him again, he'll receive a surprise from me. The streets are now empty at this hour. I can only hear the echoes of my heels. Suddenly, I hear a faint hiss from behind. It comes closer, and soon after, I notice a long shadow cast on the ground. The sound of their heavy breaths get louder. Hey. As soon as I notice something is off, I try to increase my pace. Unfortunately, the clothes I'm wearing are not suited for running. Hey. Even though I'm ignoring him, the man keeps calling out to me. I glance back to check. He catches up surprisingly fast. I'm so focused on the man that I bump into someone when I turn the corner. I freeze up when my arm gets grabbed. Evillan, what are you doing out here all alone? Kurato, you almost scared me to death. I think the guy behind you already did the job. My focus shifts back to the man and I squeeze Kurato's hand. He is possessed by evil spirits. Thank goodness I happen to be investigating this area. Kurato releases me and charges for the man. A circle of small lights appear around his hand. Once close enough, he shoots them at his target. It hits the man on his side, and his body is thrown back against a nearby wall before hitting the ground. Somehow, the man still remains conscious. Approaching him, Kurato chains a spell to purify the evil spirits. His quick moves and precise skills look so impressive. I watch a dark mass leave the body, and the man stops moving soon after. Weren't you a bit rough? There are many other ways to prevent him from moving, but I'm not that creative. One more down. Don't worry, he'll wake up later. Aside from a few possible bruises, he should be fine. Is this area clear? Oh, is this area clear? Both Kurato and I turn to the familiar voice. How long have you been standing there? Jane. Kurato's expression freezes, and I wonder what he's worried about. You didn't see that, right? See what? Jane raises his eyebrow, then turns to the unconscious man. If he's dead, then take the body to our headquarters. He's not dead. Kurato actually Before I finish my sentence, Kurato covers my mouth and smiles innocently to his colleague. He's a random passerby. He probably collapsed from too much, I think. Okay, I'm done with the East and South District, so I'm heading this way. You coming? I'm not done here yet. You're slow. You know what? I'll just handle it myself. Jane gazes at me once more before going off. Once he's out of sight, Kurato lets out a small sigh. He swiftly removes his hand from my mouth. What was that for? Don't tell him that I'm purifying the spirits. Doesn't he know about it? I don't know how to explain my powers. If he finds out, he'll soon think I'm some sorcerer using forbidden magic. Isn't that what you are? Besides a bunny. He rubs his hair and sighs again. He'll put me in a coffin. Did you know he kills off the possessed people? He has no mercy. Why don't you tell King you got different methods? Then he'll ask what my method is and start putting me under suspicion. Anyway, enough about this matter. Kurato stares at me for a while and his expression softens. Without another word, he places an arm around my waist and then another one under my thigh and lifts me into a bridal carry. Oh my god. I have a feeling that Chain is going to be the antagonist for this route. I have a feeling that he's going to find out about Kurato and it's going to be a fight with Chain and we're going to have to convince him to let Kurato go. Why are you carrying me? Don't you have a ball tonight? You'll hurt your feet if you walk all the way. But this is embarrassing. If you'd rather a piggyback ride. I remain speechless in his arms. I'm not able to admit it to him, but I feel happy to see him tonight. Kurato, will you join the party too? I can't do my work properly with Chain around, so I guess I'll join you. I cannot help but chuckle. Sounds like he's goofing off. Later, we arrive at the school. I'm surprised by how many people turned up. I can barely recognize my classmates in fancy clothing. Some of them start looking at me, and I quickly tell Kurato to put me down. I catch a familiar face in the corner of my eye. Heh, I'm gonna tease him for a bit. Hey, you! Ryoji! My friend looks startled when I approach him, shouting his name. He's about to run when I cut off his escape route and grab his tie. What is the meaning of this, Ryoji? You left me waiting, not even a single call? You're not even following the dress code. I got a last-minute call from the discipline committee. I don't remember his voice. I got a last-minute call from the discipline committee. They were short on members, so I had to go on patrol. I meant to call you, but then I realized I left my phone at home. My eyes narrow and he averts his gaze. I'm so sorry. I really didn't know how to contact you. How did you get here, by the way? Kurato slides next to me, coiling an arm around my waist. He smirks at Ryoji. Oh my god. I carried her all the way in my... It's fine. I just walked. The scenery of the village at night when you're alone is really nice, you know? You're making me feel even guiltier. Ryoji greets Kurato with a nod and rubs his neck. Anyway, I won't bother you too much with your duties. Have fun. Ryoji chuckles while I pull Kurato with me. We spend some time in the ballroom, mostly just chatting in the corner. After a while, we head to the balcony for some fresh air. The night appears more mysterious with the moon hidden behind the clouds. After my eyes get used to the darkness, I notice more stars appearing in the sky like tiny lights slowly being switched on. This is such a pretty image. It is a pretty image. They did a good job with the scene. I lean on the railings while I watch the scenery. A gentle, warm breeze blows through my hair and it feels so comfortable that I can fall asleep right on the spot. I do not mind the silence at all, though. I vaguely remember Ikiya saying something about it being comfortable when you're with about it feeling comfortable when you are with the right person. A waiter passes by with a tray of drinks. Both of us take a cup before he leaves. While taking sips of my drink, I glance at Kurato. Even though he was friendly at the beginning, there was always some sort of distance between us. After he revealed his identity and his past, the puzzle looks more complete. We turn to each other when we speak at the same time. You first. You can... This will go on forever. Can I go first? Kurato smiles faintly and turns his gaze back to the sky. He folds his arm on the railing, shifting his posture. His fingers play with the glass cup. I wait curiously for what he's about to say. I want to confess something. This may not be the best timing, but... He pauses for a moment to take a deep breath. Aww, is this where he says he loves us? Aww, this is the music. It's all tinkly. Do do do, do 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 do. Let me reset my position. There we go. I'm glad I can talk with you like this. At first, I didn't want to tell you the strange story of how we met out of fear that you wouldn't believe me. Even though our first encounter was brief, it made a huge impact on me. Ever since then, I haven't been able to forget you. I didn't have a reason to approach you until our paths crossed again. At some point, I noticed strange things happening around you, and I couldn't just watch from a distance. Even though I'm awful at introductions, I didn't want to miss the chance. He gives me a shy smile. It was just bok choy and water, you know. Oh, it was just bok choy and water, you know. I even treated you like a pet and everything. It's embarrassing to hear that it meant a lot to you. When you mentioned that you knew me from before, I almost thought I had amnesia. If we'd met as children, I definitely would have remembered you. I can't imagine finding out that the one I treasured forgot about me. I'm sorry. Don't be. Kurato leans closer and brushes his arm against mine. He beams at me. His smile is contagious. I cannot help but do the same. Suddenly, we hear a loud scream from the ballroom. We exchange a look before heading back inside. The music has stopped, replaced by a collective hushed whispers in the room. That scream must have caused a commotion, though most of the students are more confused than panicked. I instantly see Ryoji in the middle of the crowd, waving his arms. No panicking, please. Let's all just move out quietly and calmly evacuate. Ryoji's shout overpowers the crowd. He and the others, presumably from the discipline committee, guide the students through. Kurato and I walk straight to Ryoji instead. Ryoji, what's going on? Evillan, why are you still here? You should be... Kurato steps forward, pulling out his investigator badge. Ryuji's eyes widen in surprise as he glances between the two of us, but then he nods in understanding. 2 students were acting strangely earlier. When a guy approached them, they suddenly attacked him. The guy was bleeding heavily, but they probably had a weapon. Someone already called for an ambulance, but now we can't find the guy anymore. Are the 2 still here? They escaped somewhere. I'm not fully sure about the details. Before I could ask anything else, Kurato was already run off. I follow him. Ryuji calls out to me, but I reassure him that I'll come back later. My gut feeling tells me that the students were possessed. Nothing like this should happen. It's hard to keep up with Kurato in heels. I slow down to catch my breath, still keeping my eyes on him. When he turns another hallway, I continue to chase after him. Shortly after, I hear gunshots. Someone on the other end of the hallway is heading in my direction. Jace? Why are you all covered in blood? It isn't mine. Suddenly, he grabs me by the wrist and pulls me towards him, close enough that my face nearly hits his chest. He firmly holds me in place, his grip like steel. What the? ... Dare to shoot me now? It takes a second before I recognize Kurato's voice behind me. I slowly turn my face to peek at what is happening, but I'm too confused to speak. Kurato lowers his gun. His expression softens when our eyes meet. I hate this kind of situation. You seem to get into this kind of situation a lot. It makes me nervous for our other routes. Before doing anything, I'm going to hear them out first. Hey, Jace, what's going on? Did you already take care of those 2 students? Yeah, I did. It was out of self-defense, and besides, they were possessed. Who cares what happens to them? The deaths weren't necessary. I could have done something about it. You can't be everywhere at once. It's not up to you to decide anyways. Jace, release Evillan now. How can I be sure you won't shoot me after? This is probably a good time to get out of their way. While I think of how to get away from Jace, Kurato raises his hand to draw a magic circle in the air. Well, I glance over Jace's shoulder to see more circles appearing behind him. There we are, back there. Jace clicks his tongue again. He must have noticed them too. I expect him to release me so that he can defend himself from both sides, but instead he yanks me closer, wrapping an arm around my neck. Using his other arm like a shield, he deflects the spells that come his way. Ugh, it feels like I'm choking. Evillan. Not a smart move, you know. Uh-oh. Kurato casts more spells to keep Jace busy while he moves closer to rescue me. Once he's near enough, Jace shoves me aside and takes his chance to attack Kurato. He pulls off the bandages around his hand, exposing his hands to show his claw-like weapons. With no time to evade, Kurato gets hit. He steps back, blood gushing from his arm. Jace does not falter and continues attacking, delivering blow after blow at him. Kurato conjures up defensive magic circles to block them. This is revenge for what you did to my brother. You think I killed him, but I just sent him to a different dimension. Even if that's true, he's still gone. Actually, he was the one who insisted on coming here to fix you. I know everything about your past. If you weren't involved with the people here, it would be easier to erase all traces of you. I was trying to find other methods. Now I don't care anymore. The guy continues to fight, but now Kurato is at a disadvantage because of his injured arm. The only person Jace is willing to listen to now is his brother. This is a risk, but I don't have any other ideas. I don't have physical strength to extinguish the fire between them, so I try to convince them with words. Both of you are working on erasing the ongoing plague in the village. If you kill each other, what will become of this place? Kurato, you should let Blaze come back. That guy is even crazier than this one. Trust me on this. Jace lowers his weapon and looks at me with suspicion. Despite that, he gives Kurato space. Kurato is doubtful at first, but eventually lowers his arms as well. The circles fade away. He reaches into his pocket to take out a few charms. I notice his injured arm is shaking as he performs a chant. I quickly move to his side to help him out. It takes a while and a few failures before we manage to summon a large magic circle. A dark-haired male slowly steps out of the portal-like platform. The circle disappears in an instant after his entire body is out. By the shift in Jace's eyes, he seems so surprised and delighted. Kurato stays on his guard, considering what happened during their last encounter. He discreetly put his good arm behind his back, his lips slightly moving as he murmurs to himself. Casting a spell ahead of time, he must really be wary after what happened during their last encounter. This is the school grounds. Blaze? The man turns to the voice and greets his brother with a brief mumble. He looks a bit dazed from the event, but quickly collects himself. Blaze takes one glance at Kurato and turns his back to leave. Where are you going? We have no business with him. Huh? What happened to you? Weren't you the one who said we can't leave him alone? Being stuck in a dark room with nothing but your own thoughts made me reconsider a few things. And here I thought you were strict on your principles. Blaze looks at me. It feels as though he already knows what I'm thinking. It's a gamble what Blaze will do, but he is the only one who can stop his brother. For some reason, I have faith in his words. I notice that Jace is not pleased with the change of events, but he does not protest. After the twins leave, Kurato releases the spell he had prepared and rests against the wall. I move next to him for support. Wow, you really saved me back there. Thanks for putting faith in me. Kurato's smile suddenly fades as he reaches for his chest. It catches me off guard, making me stumble and trip backwards onto the ground. Oh, goodness. He suddenly changes into a large creature that seems like a grown-up version of the usual small bunny. I stare in awe. His size can scare anyone off, but he looks otherworldly to me. Kurato's voice resounds in my head. Ow, I reached my limit. I'm so confused. It's the curse that is growing worse. The beast kneels, his clear turquoise eyes boring into mine. I raise my hand to caress his fluffy cheek. One of its front legs is still red, stained even the fur around the wound. It seems the wound is halfway closed. Oh, your arm still hurt. Can you move? We need to get you out of here quickly before anyone sees you. Just then, footsteps echo in the hallway behind us, approaching. Uh-oh. Is it Chain? Kurato looks over my shoulder and emits a low growl. Hey. Uh-oh, it is Chain. I knew it. I knew we were getting close to the end of this. I could feel it. I could feel it in my bones. I don't relish this interaction. I don't know how this is gonna go. It's not gonna go pretty at first. We're gonna have to make a choice. Can we save? Let's save. Okay. I freeze up on the spot and slowly turn my head. Chain glares at us with suspicious eyes, his gun already pointed at Kurato. Tell me, how long has he been like this? Not knowing what to answer, I stand up and extend my arms to block Chain's way. Put the gun down. Step aside. I'll shoot even if you don't move. Kurato is your friend. You know he won't harm anyone. You don't know what this curse may do to him. I still won't back away. As you wish. Based on his words, it sounded like he was still trying to convince me, but then I immediately hear a gunshot. My eyes widen at the unexpected event. Chain's eyes are cold, truly like a hunter's. I wait for the pain, but something catches the bullet. A fluffy tail is suddenly in front of me, acting like a shield. I hear a soft growl behind me, followed by a hem of my dress being tugged from behind. Kurato is back on his feet, already facing the other direction. Get on, we're moving. What? Do I have to sit on top of you? Hurry up or I'll sit on you instead. The comment makes me flustered, but I hop onto his back. Oh my god, the music's so loud. Without paying further attention to Chain, Kurato dashes away. I cling tightly onto the fur and look behind, wondering if Chain is following us. He does not. His silhouette only gets smaller, which makes me relax a bit. Hey, Kurato, are you alright? Yeah, I'm fine. Thanks for protecting me back there. I am your bodyguard, you know. I'm sorry about what happened. Chain, Don't worry, I told you before that it would turn out like this. Yeah. I pity him for being in such a terrible position. He might die the next time they meet. He must feel sad about it. Evillan, you're touching me all over. Oh my god. What else should I hold on to? Not that I mind, though. Oh my god. You perv. Oh my god. Soon after we reach my house, I climb off his back. Worrying about his current state, I bring him inside despite his protests. Wouldn't it raise suspicion if I enter your place? You've been doing that since the beginning. Besides, no one will be walking around this late. What are they going to report anyway? A giant wolf walked through my front door? You won't be staying in this form forever, right? I'm not sure. I try to calm him down with gentle pets. Reacting to my touch, he leans into my palm. Using a towel, I gently wash the blood off his arm and then bandage the wound. I check for other injuries, but he seems fine. Kurato covers his eyes with his paws. I lean closer, a bit worried. What's wrong? I'm just thankful to have you. I cannot hide my smile at his words. I give a pat on top of his head, between his ears. Tonight he decides to sleep in the living room, so I grab a large blanket from my room and cover Kurato with it. Oh, now he wants to sleep in the living room? I snuggle up against him, thinking about everything that happened tonight. My body is aching from all the action. I forgot to notify Lyoji that I'm home. Oh well, he has no phone with him at the moment. I'll contact him later. By the way, you're a sorcerer, right? Why don't you teach me? Might be a bit difficult in my current state. I want to learn those tricks you did. I'll do whatever it takes to protect you. You sound so cheesy right now. Cross my arms and poke his back. Don't get upset. I'll gladly teach you. If you're capable. A smile crossed my face and I slowly closed my eyes. Kurato took a bit of the blanket to cover my body too. I'll kick your... The weekend passes by. We attend school on Monday as usual. Evelyn, how are you today? I'm doing fine. What about you? Good as well, thanks. I didn't expect to see you anywhere on Saturday. What were you doing? Oh, I didn't see you anywhere on Saturday. What were you doing? Oh, I didn't go. I ended up making pancakes for IKEA. Huh. Oh, so you don't know then? Ryoji canceled the date without telling me. He left me walking alone to the ball. Oh my goodness, how could he do such a thing to you? His excuse was something about security duties. Still, that's no reason to just ditch you. He's the worst. I'll kick him later. I hope you enjoyed the night, though. Perhaps with someone else? The scene where Kurato carried me in his arms crosses my mind, making me blush. That is apparently enough of an answer for IKEA. She continues teasing me about it, so I shift my focus back to her. I ask what made her skip the ball when she had been so excited about it in the first place. That's true. I was all dressed up, but then he said that a murderer might be walking around that night. Just a hunch, apparently. He always did have an oddly accurate gut feeling. Oh, right. I heard something bad happen at the ball. Do you know what happened? There's barely any details about it. No, I was at the balcony when it happened. Something about students attacking someone? I only found out when everyone was already evacuating. Ryoji should know more about it. I see. Hi, IKEA and Evelyn. Ask and you shall receive. The students that caused the scene at the ball have been reported missing. Many rumors are being spread by the ones that did not go to the ball. Oh, hi Ryoji. So, what happened after? Some investigations hinted that they might be dead. And don't, oh hi Ryoji me. Geez, Evelyn, you have no idea how worried I was. You were gone for so long that I went to look for you. But then they said the building was empty. I had no choice but to go home. I acted in the heat of the moment. Since you weren't carrying a phone, I thought it'd be useless to contact you. But you had after and yesterday. Yeah, that's true. Ryoji shakes his head and lets out a deep sigh. By the way, Ryoji. IKEA hits him in the chest. That's for not going to the ball with Evelyn. Ow, right in my heart. Let me make it beat again, then. You really do follow your promises. When class starts, IKEA looks around the classroom. First place, now Jace too? What happened to the twins? None of the other students know, and neither does the teacher. I wonder if they decided to leave the village now that Kurato is no longer their target. During lunchtime, I make sure no one is around before I grab my bag. I open it and poke inside. Hey, it's safe now. Ah! Kurato sticks his head out. He seems to be gasping for breath. Sorry, my bag is a bit cramped. At least you turned into a small bunny. Did you really have to pack this many books? I feel suffocated. Hey, this was your idea. Either suck it up or stay at home and fear that Chain might break into the house to kidnap you. Investigators don't break into people's houses. If you can do it, why can't Chain? That's true. Anyway, are you hungry? I hand over a piece of my sandwich. Kurato eagerly takes it with both paws and happily digs in. By the way, about your job, won't they notice your absence? I know you do daily reports. I've been doing pretty well so far. Skipping for a bit won't be too suspicious. What about, I don't think Chain will report these kinds of incidents, so I think I'm safe for now. Do you think he'll go after you? Who knows? Right now, there are more important things on his plate. Kurato's quiet for a bit, his whiskers twitching as he nibbles. I bite my own sandwich, amused by the sight. It's not a solid theory, but I think my curse might disappear once this village is clean of evil spirits. Evelyn, will you help me with this? Of course, I've been waiting for you to ask since the beginning. Oh, so maybe we're not at the end. I pet the bunny. I eventually convinced him to rest at home, since lugging him around in my bag will not help him any. After a few days, his injuries are healed, which turns him back into a human. It seems his injuries heal faster when in beast form. He's doing his best to avoid Chain as well, which is considerably difficult because they have the same job, but for now he mostly stays away from Chain's patrol spots. As promised, Kurato has been teaching me a few protective chants. I also learned how to use charms so I can support him in his investigations. A sitting duck to his partner is a whole upgrade. Oh, yeah. Okay. A sitting duck to his partner is a whole upgrade. Okay. I've been enjoying these days much more than before. Evillan, right over here. I place the charm so Kurato instructs me. We are creating a trap to catch some possessed people that will appear soon. Right after I finish, we see a stray possessed person heading our way. As predicted, it falls right into our trap. The charms rise to surround them, binding together to cage it in. To purify them, Kurato chains a spell. The zombie collapses instantly. Lately, it's been getting easier to locate our targets, and our cooperation is improving. I'm glad we didn't bump into Chain tonight. I can predict his pattern because I've known him for so long, but he can change it entirely to throw me off if he wanted to. The fact that he hasn't made a move at all. I'm just worried he'll outwit me at some point. That would be after we're finished with this job. Be more confident. I playfully bump into his shoulder and smile at him. His expression brightens upon looking at me. We continue this routine every night. I don't know how long the road is ahead, but we are moving in the right direction. Normal end 4. Oh, that's an ending. Okay. Interesting. So we ended up becoming his partner. Normal end 4. So we didn't do something enough to get a good end. We didn't get a bad end either. We just got a normal end. Beauty and the Bunny. Interesting. Kurato's normal end. Okay. Can we go to the gallery? Album. Sachiro. Okay, so we have Zaikun, Junoru, Sachiro, and Kurato. And then there's other ones that we could get. Cutscenes. We got some of those. Sketchbook. This feature unlocks after completing all endings. Oh my god. That's a lot of endings. Extra scenes. All endings. Archive. Going for the safe option. The Man in Black. Beauty and the Bunny. Oh, are these other routes that I've gotten? Maybe. Achievements collection. Okay, interesting. Interesting. So I wonder, let me know, what route you want us to go through next, or if you want to do a different visual novel. I fixed the Discord, so it should be working now. So if you're watching this today, or if you're watching this on the Voz channel, go ahead and check out the Discord. You can go to the Twitch page, twitch.tv/princessevillan. Go to the About Me, scroll all the way down, go to the Discord button, go ahead and click that. It'll take you straight to the Discord, and you can go to the, oh, what did I call it? Let me look. What did I call it? Ideas and feedback. Let me know under ideas and feedback, what you would like to see next as far as visual novels go. If I don't hear anything back, we'll do another Dark Knights route and see how that goes. Probably play, who should we play? Probably do Junero. I'm calling Junero next. We'll probably do him next because I'm really interested in his route. Being the brother of Roya and being connected to Kurato in a way. I'm interested to see how that route goes. I'll probably end up getting another normal route. I typically get the normal routes first, just because that's my play style of playing it safe. But there was a lot of twists and turns in this story. I really enjoyed Kurato's character. I thought he was a very well-developed character. I liked that he hid things from us initially, but he was always kind of straightforward in his affection and his feelings towards us. So it wasn't never necessarily a matter of like, oh, is he trying to deceive us? It was more of a matter of like, what is he hiding from us, trying to protect us, which basically he was. So I'm interested to see what his good route looks like. If you want to see that, let me know. Otherwise, we'll do the junior route next time on Friday. Yeah, the only thing I didn't really like about this game, which let me check, is it free on Discord right now? I think it is. Yes, it is free to play. You can get it on Steam. It's a really good game. There's lots of content in that single route. We did that for a few weeks. So there's lots of content. There's multiple endings. There's like good, normal, and bad endings. There's lots of different kinds of endings. There's lots of different achievements to get. The different characters are all very interesting. They all have their different things going on. We got to know a little bit about the man-eating demon. We get to know a little bit about Juniro through Roya in the flashback. We didn't really learn much about Saichi, or whatever his name was. Sachiro? We didn't learn much about Sachiro, so I don't think he was necessarily related to Kurato, so I wonder if he'll show up in other routes. We'll have to see. But I am interested in playing more of this game. I think it's really fun. The only thing I didn't like was the goddamn main character, our player character. I did not like her attitude in a lot of the scenes she had with Kurato. It was very much like being sweet and sappy, but being very like 19. It was very like teenage romance. Which I just wish she had been a little bit more, like when Kurato like spilled his guts and was like, this is my childhood and this is what happened to me and this is how I lost my best friend. She was just like, she said something like kind of selfish, and I was a little surprised that she wasn't more like, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry that happened to you, let me comfort you. Like, I wish that she had just been a little bit more empathetic. She also got in the way a lot. There was a lot of times where Kurato would be fighting and we would be basically being held hostage, and it happened a lot. And we never seemed to learn from these encounters that we should stay away from these things. In fact, it made us go out of our way to get more involved with them. So that was a little bit annoying. I didn't really like that part of the character, but overall, I think the character, our player character, does a pretty good job of self-inserting herself into the story and putting herself in a position where things are happening to her and kind of victimizing herself in a way. I think she does a really good job of that, so it makes it easier to get her into more damsel in distress type situations, which Kurato just then comes in and saves her, right? Which is supposed to be like very romantic, and it's a very romance trope, so it's not necessarily a bad thing. I do wish she'd been a little bit more empathetic. I do wish she'd been a little bit more understanding. I don't really know how to put it, but her character just really irked me for some reason. There was something about it that just really irked me. So I don't know if she's going to be like that in other routes. We'll have to see. I don't know if it's just the writing of her and Kurato's route, which was very playful back and forth. Like trust me, don't trust me kind of thing. I want to work with you, I want to be your partner kind of thing. I think the ending we got was very indicative of the way that we played, which was very much like as a asset to Kurato and helping him through situations. I noticed that towards the end we didn't have as many choices into situations, like with the Blaze situation, having him come back. I think that should have been a choice to help Kurato in that situation or to do something else. But I guess at that point we had already solidified what kind of ending we were going to be getting, so there wasn't much of a point of putting in a choice, I guess. I don't really know. I haven't made a visual novel myself. I haven't worked with any of these programs, so I don't know the limitations of anything. This is just me spitballing about the game itself and what I think about it. But I think overall the game itself for a free game is very good. I think the story was very interesting. There was a lot of horror moments, which I wasn't expecting. I was expecting the mystery. I wasn't expecting as much supernatural as we got, which I'm glad that we did. I think it made the story more fun. I like supernatural elements. I wasn't expecting it, but it was a good addition, and I think it fit pretty well with Kurato's character. kind of like this hunter mentality kind of thing he's got going on with Chain, right? I wish we could have gotten more resolution. Maybe in a different ending we'll get a different resolution with him and Chain. And it doesn't end so openly in a different route. If you know that answer, let me know. Go ahead and comment on the VOD channel or let me know in the Discord. Be like, hey, I played Dark Knights. Be very spoiler free. Don't tell me any spoiler things, but let me know if, let me know if, you liked Kurato's other endings or which character you did like and which one you want to see next. But anyways, I will see you guys tomorrow. We'll be playing D&D in the evening. Videos will be going up on the VOD channel, so go ahead and look out for that. There will be a lot of videos going up. So check that out if you're interested in other games that I played or the first parts to Dark Knight or Deponia. We have the New Year stream going up, which we played Risk of Rain 2 for a little bit, and then we watched the ball drop and hung out with you guys. It was really fun. We have the Homestuck coming up. 4 Last Things is going to be going up. So yeah, lots of stuff going up on the VOD channel tomorrow. So go ahead and check that out if you're interested in previous streams that I've done and other games and other things that we have done in the past. Otherwise, I will see you guys on Saturday tomorrow for D&D. Part 2 of D&D is going to be going up on the VOD channel as well, so you can watch it before D&D in the evening. So check that out if you're interested, if you want to see the first parts to it. First part is already on the VOD channel, so you can watch episode 1. Yeah, we'll be doing episode 3 tomorrow. So it'll be really fun and interesting. Like I said, if you're new to D&D, or if you're looking to create a small group, or you're looking to do some homebrew, or you're looking for just some D&D inspiration, and you want to watch a fun, quirky little adventure, you can go ahead and check out what we're doing tomorrow. It's been really interesting so far. I'm not going to really give too many spoilers about it, but it is about a city of dreams, and dreams come true just naturally in this city, but we can't seem to get out, and there seems to be this kind of nightmare happening in the city, and we need to figure out the source of it and figure out how to help the city, even though they don't know that they are being corrupted because they're all too busy having nice dreams. It's a really interesting story. I hope you guys stick around and hang out with us tomorrow for that. Me and Gob Gob will be playing. Yeah, it's gonna be a lot of fun. Anyways, you can also catch us on Sunday. We are reading Homestuck. We just finished Problem Sleuth on Wednesday, so we are going to be doing Homestuck twice a week now on Wednesdays and Sundays. Tuesday, Thursday, Friday, I play video games. You can check me out playing Deponia. We just finished, or we're gonna finish Death of the Reprobate on Tuesday. So that's a fun point and click. It's a little quirky, a little Renaissance art and classical music. Deponia on Thursday, Dark Knights on Friday. If you ever want to know what's going on in the stream, go ahead and check out the schedule tab under Twitch. If you miss a stream, check out the VOD channel in a few weeks. It should be on there. And yeah, otherwise, I will see you guys tomorrow for D&D. Alright guys, bye. I'll see you later. Bye.